Good morning. This is Dina Marie, and I'm back with David Phillips, music director at St. Mary Catholic Church in Eugene, Oregon. Musician, storyteller, music composer, screenwriter, author. I mean, as David mentioned in the first half of our interview, since the very beginning, you have been so wrapped around music. In fact, if you were looking in his office where we're recording today, he's got vinyl records all over the place. And so vinyl is final. And so some of your music, I
Okay.
understand, David, is available in vinyl, right?
Yes, in ancient times, I have uh, a vinyl record. Yes, and it's about the exploits of Devutis, the time traveling musician. Yes.
It's awesome. Well, the book that was just released, and it was, I think, October 2023 from Amazon. And that's where I purchased it, as I just went on Amazon.com to buy The Kingdom of the Inland Sea, book number 1, Mysterious Lighthouse. There is also a Kindle edition. So there is an ability to hear it as an audiobook. And this is amazing with this type of a story, a fantasy story where you are getting into I'm on the island, I'm in the library, I'm eating the delicious foods that Jake gets to eat every morning. Foods are made for him. Tell us about the process, David, of making your book an audiobook.
Um, the audiobook. So the book is also available at other booksellers, Barnes and Noble and that kind of thing. So there are 3 versions of the book, the actual book that you are holding, and then there's the Kindle edition that people can download, and then there's the Audible version. And Josh McCrae is the narrator for the audiobook, and he did an absolutely wonderful job. Um, I had to go to a company called ACX, and it's an Amazon company, and so I put up a test part of the book, and then off readers can send me uh, a version of how they would interpret it. And Joshua McCrae he was awesome. And so he has done the audio version. And so it's available on Amazon, but also audible.com and iTunes. So it's 9 hours and 15 minutes, I think. He just did a wonderful job, wonderful job. And it took him about 3 weeks to get it all done. He had an editor who would listen to what he had done, and he would give me the opportunity to change pronunciations or whatever. And yeah, it's a great experience. So that is available as an audiobook.
It's awesome. And I think as we're getting into the summer season, when people are doing maybe their vacations and they're in the car, well, you're in commuting all the time, listen to Catholic radio, but then get a great audiobook like this one from David Phillips, The Kingdom of the Inland Sea. I just want to read a little paragraph. And again, this is about Jake, the main character in the book. And just so people can get a sense of the mystery behind this story. Eerie silence reigned as he stood on the edge of the courtyard, observing the desolation of the once great castle. A door suddenly opened across the courtyard, followed by tentative footsteps off to his right. Again, he considered returning to the lighthouse, but strongly refused to abandon this new adventure before he had satisfied his curiosity about the chime. He learned about the chime of the bell. He decided to hide in the shadows and wait. I mean, there's so much mystery. And what I love about the book, David, and I wouldn't go out and get a bunch of fantasy books, but this one, every paragraph is filled with description. You're either unpacking part of somebody's story, you're telling about this room or this island or this boat or this blue fox that becomes one of my favorite characters. And that takes a special gift, I think, to describe a blind person how to see. When we enter a book like this, we're blind to enter into a world, and then you paint it with many different pictures. How do you do that?
Well, you know, I would hone the I would work on a chapter, come back to it the next day, work it uh, over and over. And in fact, one of my friends who read through it said, you I know that you're seeing um, everything in your head, and I would even like a little more so that I can see your vision. So in book two, Salandin's Keep, I am trying to do that, give even more, so that the reader can see and hear and feel exactly what is surrounding them.
David Phillips with us again, author of The Kingdom of the Inland Sea, Mysterious Lighthouse, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, anywhere that you purchase your books, not only the hardcover book, or it's actually a soft cover book, but you can get the book form, you can get it on Kindle, or you can get the audio book form. And I've talked to so many people who now are just loading all of their books on their phone. So as they're traveling, what have you, you have access to great stories. And I think that's the thing, David, is one to have that story of darkness versus light. How do we identify what's the right thing to do? Jake is struggling a lot in this way that he's been living, stepping on people to get to the top, to make as much money and to be as powerful as he can. And now he's starting to realize there might be consequences to that kind of lifestyle. And he's starting to see maybe there's a different way that I could be living, as he meets friends that are actually friends and not trying to take advantage of who he is. How do you explore some of those basic things in a book like this?
Well, Jake, there's a little bit of us all in Jake. Um, he is so self-centered that, and like you say, he steps on people in his old life to get to where he is. He's born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He's got um, servants. He's living with his uncle, and he's got a business, money at his disposal. And so it's a hard thing for him to come to grips with the fact that he's not in charge here. He's always been in charge. And there's something about this kingdom that he can't control. But uh, the magic of the kingdom wants him to succeed, to be the protector of all the peoples of the kingdom of the inland sea. So it's his struggle and his journey to get past his own ego and to realize that there are other people, there are other situations that he can't master, and he's got to adapt and become a protector of the kingdom.
It's interesting to go through that story, and I think, like you said, David, we can identify. I think everybody can identify with Jake, or maybe you've worked with a Jake and you want to see a transformation, and transformation can take place, but it takes time and it takes a process. Was there a particular character as you were writing this story and all these characters start to come to life that you became more fond of, or that you learned something from as you developed them?
All of these characters are my friends, even Mortist, the bad guy. Um, my heart kind of goes out to Mortis because in the book, his father, the Baron, loved him. And why did Mortis turn out to be this raging evil character? We're going to find out a little bit more about that later. But all of these characters are my friends. And without giving anything away, one of the characters meets an end, but and it was hard to make that happen because I didn't want that character to go away, but it's what happened in the book.
Mm-hmm. Again, the book Mysterious Lighthouse, book one. So we know book two Do we know how many books are going to come out of this series, David?
Dina, I wish I could tell you. It could
God
be
only
an
knows.
ongoing series. That's right. It could be an ongoing series because all of these characters have backstories, and there are more new characters that make their appearance at the beginning of book 2, Salandon's Keep. And all of these characters tie in with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be an ongoing process. But I am trying to come to a satisfying conclusion for each book as it would happen.
Okay. The Kingdom of the Inland Sea. Any place you buy your books, audiobooks, and the Kindle version is available. I got mine on Amazon.com. I would encourage you, especially, I mean, I'm an adult. I love this book, but I think your teenage years, your 20 somethings are going to identify those young readers who love, what is it? The throne, the game, what I'm trying to, the Hobbit, and what's the new thing? David, help me with uh, the
Um,
Game of Thrones. That's kind of the popular thing, but I think stir up the imagination, and it's a fun story, but I think people are also going to learn something while they read, and we get to support a local author. I love that my friend David Phillips can support you in that great gift. And let me know when book number 2 comes out. Any prediction on a date in 2024?
it will be in 2024, and I would encourage anybody that were to get the book. I would love to read comments. You know, if they post a review, I would love to hear what people think, negative or positive. It's all good. I would love to hear what people think.
Okay. The musicofdavidphillips.com is a great website to land onto. I'll make sure that links to how to get a hold of the music and the book are all available on this podcast as well. David, great to be able to talk with you, see you face to face. Looking forward to hearing more about the adventures and particularly to hear about what's happening at St. Mary's Church in Eugene. So keep doing great stuff and have a blessed Easter to Pentecost season.
Yes. And thank you so much. It was wonderful to speak with you.
All right. God bless. Thanks so much.